My name is Christina Maria Gadar. I've created this workout today for my Pilates students who aren't able to get to the studio due to the coronavirus outbreak. But this is definitely something that other Pilates students can use. Just remember, when in doubt, leave something out. If you're new to Pilates, this is a mild enough workout that you could probably do it, but always remember it is best to consult a physician prior to starting a new exercise routine. So this exercise routine is pre-Pilates done lying down. You can do it lying down on your bed if you can't get to the floor. If you can get to the floor, I suggest definitely, if you're on a wood floor or a tile floor, putting a mat down, or definitely a bunch of bath towels. You'll want to have a few hand towels ready for this exercise routine as well. You might need a folded towel to go under your head to protect your neck and keep it in a good position. We'll also be using a towel, it could be a hand towel or a longer bath towel, to stretch the leg. So you'll want to get those ready in addition to having a mat on the floor. And I also have a ball ready in case you don't have a magic circle. We are going to be finishing with an arm routine or arm exercise that you can do with a magic circle, and in place of the magic circle, a ball can definitely work. All right, so let's get to the floor. If you're doing this exercise routine on the floor, I want to show you how you'll get to the floor without putting any pressure on your knees. So you're going to turn toward your mat, and if you're on a slippery surface, make sure you're not wearing socks. We don't want the feet sliding out from underneath you. You're going to place your hands on the floor. You're going to swivel on the balls of the feet. Your ankles will then cross. You're going to take your hand next to you, and you're going to bring your feet onto the mat. To stand back up, you would just do the same thing in reverse order. So you take your feet to the floor, you would cross one foot over the other, and the arm that matches the leg that is crossed in front will also cross the midline of the body. You're going to push away from the floor with your hands and walk yourself back up to standing. All right, so that's the best way that I can think of to get to the floor without putting pressure on your knees. Let's give it a try and we'll go into this series. So hands to the floor, swivel on the balls of the feet, take a seat, bring your hands next to your hips, feet onto the mat. Your legs are bent at about a 90-degree angle, your inner thighs are working, your head comes in as if it's under a low ceiling, and you're going to hug your inner thighs together as you pull your waist back. Once your arms straighten, just let your hands slide down the backs of your legs and go ahead and lie down. Now, as I mentioned, if you are used to using a very thin pillow or two in the studio, you'll want to position a folded towel or two underneath the back of your head. If you're not in need of that, just leave it out. So we're going to start with a stretch for your neck. Before we get to the pre-Pilates exercises, let's focus on placement and body awareness. So you're going to turn your head to the right shoulder. Your left eye looks to the mat to deepen the stretch. You try not to move your shoulders, and you bring your head back to the center. Let's try it to the other side. Turn your head to the left shoulder, your right eyeball looking toward the mat, and then come back to the center. So that's a nice way to make sure you're not straining your neck, you're not holding any extra tension there. Now let's bring our attention to the shoulder blades. So if we can create stable shoulders, we actually, from that stability, we create more mobility in the arms down the road. So let's just keep the arms down on the mat, lift the shoulders toward your ears, and then slide the shoulder blades down your back. Imagine your shoulder blades are sliding down into back pockets. So you're going to lift your shoulders up and slide the shoulder blades down the back. All right, so that's referred to as depression of the shoulder blades. We are not doing retraction of the shoulder blades into the mat. We are sliding the fingertips down to the toes and creating a lot more freedom in the collarbones and neck. Now let's bring our attention to the rib cage. Place your hands on your ribs. And now let's try to avoid creating a pop-up book where the ribs expand. Let's melt the ribs in by deepening the out-breath and also engaging the upper abdominals. Combining the breathing with the upper abdominal engagement is the best way to soften your ribs. But if you can't quite get it, then I suggest having a laugh or a cough. So in doing that, you should probably be able to feel your ribs softening under your hands. So that's the best way I can recommend to find the softness in the ribs. And just know that that truly comes from upper abdominals being engaged and the breathing being in sync with what you're doing. Now let's talk about your back placement. I want you to imagine as you soften those ribs and close the front of the body as if you're tightening, you're closing a very tight button front shirt. As you close the front of the body, you open your back body on the mat. So to do that, I want you to visualize your back as melted butter spreading out on the mat. You can also use the image of your spine, each vertebra as individual ice cubes thawing out on the mat. All right, so your back is anchored via your powerhouse muscles. We're still thinking about belly button, seat, and inner thighs, of course, but this is also to help you with back placement and body placement. Now with your pelvis, it might feel good to tuck it, but I want you to relax it into the mat and squeeze your seat, engage your stomach muscles without that extra tucking, because that might feel good in the beginning, but it strains and overuses the hip flexors. So by relaxing your pelvis, you'll truly lengthen your spine. All right, so now I think that we're ready to focus on some pre-Pilates exercises, and we're going to start with pre-Pilates exercises for your back. Let's take the fingertips up to the ceiling, slide the shoulder blades down the back like we practiced with the hands on the mat. Take a deep breath. Exhale as one arm goes back. Observe what happens to your back. Anticipate when it's time to stop moving the arm. Inhale, come home. We anticipate the back lifting. We stop the arm before it arches the back. Exhale as your other arm goes back, anchoring your spine to the mat. Inhale, your arm should not touch the mat. Deep breath in. Exhale as your fingertips reach back and your arm goes toward your ear. Inhale, home position. Exhale, the other arm reaching back as your waist sinks. Inhale, and rest your arms. Let's do the same thing with the legs, same concept. You're going to observe what your back does as your leg moves away from your center, and you're going to anticipate when it's time to stop. Just like the arm not going all the way to the mat. Some of you might be able to stretch your leg all the way, but some of you might not. You have to anticipate when to stop. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slide your foot forward as you pull your waist back. Inhale, come back to home. Exhale, the other foot slides away, pulling your waist in. Looking down the tip of the nose. Breathe in to return. Exhale, alternate legs. Inhale, home position, and one more, breathe out as you melt your belly button into the mat, and inhale, come home. Now we're going to combine the movement. We're going to move one arm and one leg. Whether that's the same arm and leg or opposite arm and leg is up to you. It really doesn't matter as long as you maintain the integrity of your body placement. So we have the knees pointing up to the ceiling. The fingertips are also pointing up. You're going to take a deep breath in to get started. You're going to exhale and extend one arm away from one leg. Inhale, bring it back home. Other set of limbs. Inhale first. Exhale as the limbs move away from your center. The belly button sinks into the mat. Inhale, come home. Let's repeat. Take a deep breath. Breathe out as you extend one arm away from one leg. And inhale, bring it back to home position. Exhale as that leg moves away from the arm. And inhale, rest your arms. Now let's bring one knee to the chest. In case you have a sensitive knee, you don't need to grab the top of your shin or your ankle. You can grab the back of your thigh. Just avoid interlacing your fingers as you gently hug. 2, 3, release. Make sure your pelvis is still relaxed. You're not lifting your hips or straight. If you get a cramp in the back of your thigh of your bent leg that's on the mat, make sure you're not pushing down into your foot. It's relaxed. Now we're going to put that foot down. We're going to bring the other knee in, either holding the front or the back of the thigh as you pull gently and release and gentle pressure. Now you're going to bring the other knee in and you're going to gently pull both knees in. And if you would like, you could do little circles to massage the low back and reverse after 3, 2, 1. Come out of it safely, putting one foot down, pulling the stomach in deeper as the other foot goes down. Now, go ahead and grab your towel, and let's go ahead and do an exercise to work the hip. You're going to put the towel underneath your thigh. You're going to pretend the towel is a hammock for your leg. Your leg is dead weight. You use your arms to power the movement by pulling it in and release. So your leg is completely relaxed and you're just using your arms with the powerhouse muscles engaged to pull. And then if you'd like a little more stretch to work the leg in the hip socket, let's circle much like you do in the single leg circles from the mat work. And then let's reverse after 3. But it's the towel powered by the arms that's moving the leg. And then relax. So this is very helpful for people who have delicate hips, who need to work the mobility in their hip sockets, but still have a little bit of support, like you get from the leg straps or the leg springs. This towel is doing that same thing. So gently pull, 2, 3, and release. And pull. And if you'd like, you can do little circles, moving the leg from the arms, letting the leg move in the hip socket, and then let that foot come down. And now let's strengthen the muscles around the hip sockets. You're going to bring one knee and then the other to your chest. Hands on your thighs. You're going to let your thighs come toward your chest as your hands resist the pressure and release. And press your thighs into your hands as you resist. Create opposing lines of energy. The thighs come in, the hands push forward and out. Now put the hands behind the backs of your thighs. And as the backs of the thighs push against your hands, resist the pressure. And release. And push against your hands. And release. And one more time. And release. Now let's do the Pre-Pilates hip exercise we did in the seated Pre-Pilates video, where your hands go on the outer part of your thighs. And you're going to press out against your hands as your hands resist and release. And push out against your hands, resist the pressure. And now you're going to cross your wrists with the palms facing away from your midline. Place the palms on the interior part of your legs, not on your knees, and press your inner thighs toward your midline as your hands resist and release the pressure. And press your inner thighs into your hands and release. Rest one foot and then the other. All right, now we're going to do an exercise that's considered a Pre-Pilates exercise for both the knee and the back. You have to be mindful of what the leg is doing as your back tries to stay anchored. So we're going to keep the legs bent at a 90-degree angle. Extend one leg forward while keeping the back anchored. Arms long by your sides, collarbones open, shoulder blades sliding down the mat. You're going to lift your leg, your long leg, up to the bent knee, and you can either touch the bent knee or, for an added challenge, be a little bit away from that knee. You're going to hold it there for 3 to 10 seconds and then bring it down to the calf of your bent leg and hold it there, mindful not to lock your knee, but to keep the back of the knee soft so that the muscles around the knee can do the work. Bring it down to your ankle and hold it there. And when you're ready, rest it completely on the mat. Now you could repeat that same thing 2 more times, but since this is not a very dynamic exercise and it's easy to lose focus, let's change it up a little bit simply by moving from the bottom to the top this time. So just lift your leg up to your ankle, hold it there for a few seconds, stomach is pulling in, lift it up to your calf, the foot is relaxed, the knee is soft, and the leg muscle is long. Bring it up to your knee as the belly button pulls in deeper, hold it there. and relax your leg on the mat. So that shows you too how the different heights of the leg definitely require more or less work in the powerhouse to keep your back anchored. Now let's rotate the leg outward in the hip socket like you're turning a doorknob. This is how we do our Pilates stance, with the inside of that ankle bone now facing the ceiling. And you're going to lift your leg up to the bent knee and hold it there for a few seconds. And you're going to take it down to your calf and lower it to your ankle. This is very good to strengthen the inner part of the knee and the innermost part of your quadricep muscles. And lower your leg down completely. So if you had a weaker side, that would have gone first. Then you would do the 3 to the left, to your stronger side, and then you would repeat on your weaker side again. For purposes of time in this video, I'm just doing one leg and then the other. So we're going to go to the second side, stretch the leg long on the mat, lift the leg up to your knee height. The leg is long but not locked, the stomach is strong, and you're going to lower your leg down to the calf. Your fingertips are reaching to your toes. You're going to lower the leg down to your ankle. Your ribs are soft, your spine is anchored. You're going to lower your leg all the way down to the mat. You're going to start from the bottom now. Lift your leg up to your ankle. Hold it there. Not using your bottom foot to do the work, but using your stomach muscles. You're going to lift it up to your calf, pulling the waist in. You're going to lift your leg up to your knee, holding it there. You might feel some trembling happening, but that's good. It means you're using your muscles and not using your joints. Rest your leg completely. Rotate the leg outward in the hip like you're turning a doorknob that's been thoroughly cleaned. And you are going to lift that leg up to your knee and hold it. And after a few seconds, you're going to take it down to your calf. Loose foot, tight seat. Take it down to your ankle, still in that Pilates stance with a long muscle and a soft knee, and rest it completely on the mat. And then we can bring that foot in. Next, let's go ahead and take the towel again. It might need to be the longer bath towel. You're going to put it over the sole of one foot. Keep the bottom leg bent so you have more stability to keep your back anchored. And you're going to gently stretch the top leg. If you feel like you can handle a little pull on the towel, you can do that for 3 seconds only and release. If your leg is more bent, you're still getting a stretch in the back of your thighs, so don't worry. And release. Do that one more time. It's only for 3, 2, 1, and let's let that foot come down to the mat. Now remember, we only do stretches for the count of 3 seconds. Anything longer than that will trigger a protective reflex in which the muscle you're trying to lengthen will actually contract. So we try to avoid that at all costs. We're going to hook the towel under the sole of your other foot. Stretch your leg, gently pull, 2, 3, and release. The pelvis is heavy on the mat. It's relaxed so that the spine is still long on the mat. And let's do a third one. Pull, 2, 3, and relax. Let's finish with the arms. You're going to grab your magic circle. If you don't have one, if you happen to have a ball, that could work just as well. Either object that you hold, even if you didn't have anything, you can imagine pressure on an object. You're going to take your arms up. Fingers are long, palms are holding the ball or the circle. Your inner thighs, seat muscles, and stomach are engaged. This is a powerhouse exercise that also benefits the arms. I want you to slide your shoulder blades down your back and press into the circle without locking your elbows. Release after 3 seconds. And press in. Sink your belly button in. The back of the neck is long. Release. One more time. 2, 3. Reach to your toes. Press in and hold, 2, 3. And again, long arms, strong stomach, soft elbows. Release. One more. Press, press, press. Release the pressure. Take your arms up. Observe what's going on in your back. Anticipate when it's time to stop. The arms do not touch the mat. You're going to press into the circle or the ball. and release. Pull the shoulder blades down your back and release. And one more time, press and hold. And let's put that aside. To sit up safely, move your hips over to one side. Let your knees float to the opposite side of your hips. Bring your hands over to the same side as your knees. Push away from the floor and come to a seated position. Those are some of the pre-Pilates exercises that you can safely do at home, on a mat, on the floor, or on your bed. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you.